Celebrate the holiday season your way.
And welcome back again to 6 Weeks to Wellness with Jan Fitzpatrick of inVibeHealth.com and our holiday season series here about how women 50 and beyond can really make this a happy holiday. So, your way, Jan, what are we going to be talking about in this episode?
Well, from the third episode, if you do figure out what makes your holidays happy, you can make it a priority to plan them your way. And that doesn't mean excluding others. That means including everybody, including yourself, which you may not have been doing. And then don't be surprised if your new plans break with tradition in unique and surprising and fulfilling ways. And always leave room in your plans for the unexpected, which often turns out to be the best part.
Excellent. Well, this sounds like a good episode coming up here, Jan. But let's break down the three important takeaways so we can plant those seeds in people's minds, and then we'll go through each of the three of them.
Well, the first one thing we'll talk about is that happiness is a choice. And ask ourselves, well, what contributes to your holiday happiness?
Okay.
And what can you do? And what can you do to make this time a time that is fulfilling for you?
Absolutely. Well, those sound like great bullet points for us to run because they're all critical here, I think, to getting people to really have that happy holiday experience. So let's talk about choice. It's a really powerful topic. So why would you say happiness is a choice? Isn't it just a feeling that happens to me, Jan?
Well, it's also a decision. It's a choice and a decision to be happy no matter what. Which is something I did quite a few years ago, and then of course something really terrible happened, and I had to remember that I had already decided that happiness was now my base, not grief, which got me through that time. But it's really just kind of changing your focus. It's replacing expectations with aspiration and anticipation.
You know, you're reminding me again of that same Zen master that I talked about in a previous episode when we were talking about stuff and this topic of happiness, because another version of what he was constantly teaching is that if you look in your at the present moment and you ask yourself, am I happy right now? He said, if the answer is anything other than yes, you better get busy because this is where you live, and so you can't afford to have an expectation of my life being happy later. I've got to make this the happiest moment of my life, and I think you're absolutely right. It's about focus. It's about choice. It's about feeling like you're in the driver's seat of the decision making of what you're about to do. Right? Yes. So how does that play out in the holidays? I mean, both in your own life or in women you've worked with. I mean, how does this? Because I'm gathering that for many people, they're not seeing it as a choice, and that's part. So you're trying to empower people to make the choice to be happy, make active choices to make the holiday a happy season. How does that play out in your experience?
Oh, just to sit with yourself and kind of look at, and we've talked about it before, but find out what contributes to your holiday happiness. Is it helping others? Is it kind of setting aside a time to start a new exercise program? Do you want to travel? Do you want to do a really cool, just kind of like cocooning thing, a staycation? Do you want to nourish relationships? Take this time to spend more time with friends and family, which is what I do at Thanksgiving. And you may also want to take time either in a retreat or at home to meditate, maybe start doing yoga on a daily basis in a time season which may not be quite as busy as the other seasons. Do you want to spend time outdoors? Do you want to take this time for a pause in your life? Do you want to do small acts of kindness and make it a priority during the holiday season? Not that you don't do it other times, but really focus on it during the holiday season. You may want to try new things. You may want to just sit and read a book for a day. Give yourself a little time out. And during the holiday season, maybe what's most important is to not try to get through it, but to savor the moments as a new practice for yourself.
Yeah, I'd say if you're catching yourself just trying to get through it, I mean, then you're clearly not letting yourself sit with the question that you asked in the first place here, which is what contributes to your holiday happiness. Clearly you're not tapping into it. So you've got a great list here of thought-provoking kind of all different concepts and ideas and directions that somebody could go in, but in the end, we each have to figure out our own right answer, right? There isn't a right answer. There's what
Correct.
resonates with me personally. And then back to your first bullet point, understanding that once you identify that, you can actually choose to incorporate that in what you're doing in a new way of celebrating your holidays, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So let's talk about your third point then, which is, what can you actually do now? So you've asked people to understand that there's a choice to be made. You've opened their mind to all these different possibilities. So how do you bring it home now? How do you actually take action?
After you figure all those things out and figure out what's fulfilling to you, to put it into action, you need to make a plan. And I think that's the other time where you need to sit down and take a look at your schedule and make sure that what you find to be fulfilling, you put in first in your schedule. So if it's to get together with some very close friends that you love and they care about you too, make sure that you plan that you call them, that you take time to do it, to organize it, even if it's just having a dinner on a Wednesday before the holiday or on a Tuesday before the holiday. If that's what's most meaningful for you is to get together with friends and family, then do it and plan it, and don't wait for other people to do it for you. If that's what you really would like to do, let other people know. They're just waiting to hear from you, probably.
Well, right. It's a pretty safe bet that if you're letting someone else make the plan, that you're probably following their plan and not yours. And so unless you happen to be perfectly in sync, you may be a little dissatisfied with the outcome. So sure, if you don't, what's the old saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? I mean, so mapping out exactly what you'd like to create makes it easier that you're going to follow through and make that happen. So, well, Jan, we've had a lot of fun here. I hope people have been opening their minds, thinking about how the holidays could be. We've had this is part of our whole 4-part series on happy holidays to women 50 and beyond. In this particular episode, we've covered that happiness is a choice, that you can sit back and contemplate what actually contributes to a happy holiday for you, and then actually understanding that you can enact it by creating a plan and working it out and including other people in that process. But the whole 4-part series has been great, at least for me. I mean, you've been very thought-provoking, even though I'm not a woman 50 and beyond, but it's been very helpful to me too. So I think it'll be helpful to them as well. So I want to make sure that people know that they can connect with you over at invibehealth.com and learn more about what 6 Weeks to Wellness is all about. You also have a great offer. You've got your Amazon.com book that's available free on the website at invibehealth.com. So if you come over there, you look for the little book icon, you click on it, and you just have to enter your name and email address. That will get you the book, of course, right away, but it also gets you on Jan's notification list. You get her newsletters, her blog posts, and upcoming video series that we will continue doing as part of 6 Weeks to Wellness. So, Jan, this has been great. I hope the rest of your holidays are absolutely wonderful and awesome, and I'm going to work hard to make mine the same. So until next time, thanks.
Thank you. See you soon.